for the Swami constituency. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Yes, I mean, we saw all of that happen today. You in particular didn't appear so impressed with some of the nominees, and you expressed same on the floor of the House, especially you mentioned Emmanuel Amakofibua. Is it not the case that because he had made some comments in the past, a lot of you were seeking to use this opportunity, to exact your pound of flesh from him?
Well, thank you, and good evening to your listeners. Well, I think the Honorable Amakofibua, as I've been told, is a very fine gentleman. I have just come to this house, and I know he has a very good relationship with all the members in the house. But we all know what he said to the former president when the former president gave his last State of the Nation address. I was particularly intense. I was unhappy. And so I was expecting, like any of my colleagues, that as the veteran, he will clearly and unequivocally express some, at least some different views from what he had earlier expressed at the last State of the Nation address. I've listened to the interaction between Honorable Amakofibua and the minority chief whip, and I want to believe that he actually doubled down. He said that what he said was a reflection of the views of the people of Ghana, and for somebody to say that what I said was reflecting the views of the people of Ghana, it means that he believed in every one of the things he said about the president. But in the same vein, he also said that if he has come out as disrespectful, then he's sorry. I mean, for me, and I mean this, his answers really, for me, were very evasive and almost prevaricating, because in most of the answers, Honorable Amakofibua will not stick his neck out to state his position. And I had some example, to give on the floor, but I couldn't get the opportunity. And that's what happened in this particular case. But in terms of his work as a minister, I have no doubt that he has the qualifications. Having been a minister of energy before, I believe that he has the capability, he has what it takes to become a minister for lands and natural resources. But look, the purpose of the vetting, apart from everything, is also look at the heart of the nominees. Look at their views. Look at what their worldview generally, and whether they are fit to serve in a position of public trust. Because when you are appointed as a minister, you are going to serve in a position of public trust, and so when you are vetted, you are supposed to be candid, and make sure that whatever you say is backed by the facts. And so we can hold you on to the things you say on the vetting committee at a later period. But where the person is not so committed to a particular position, then it becomes really difficult to accept wholly the person's ability to work, But as it happened, the report showed that he had apologized, and so both sides of the team came together to approve of him.
I see. Generally, people would think that, of course, he said those things he said were a reflection of the views of the people of Ghana. And why will you want to punish him for that? And what did he say wrong? He said the president didn't do well. He said the things that you politicians say every time. And if I heard Anodon Pre well, he said for a president, it was an emotional moment for him, for a president that was exiting. And are these matters that he should be concerned about? He was stating views, and I'm not sure anybody will say the president was insulted. He was just stating a view, and he clarified that he was reflecting the views of Ghanaians. So I found it a bit strange that he nearly held back his approval, in the normal way you've done it so far, just because of the comment he made on the floor of Parliament.
Yes, I mean, so he was talking about, like we said, an hesitant president. And if you listen to the whole speech, it sounded more or less like a test, at the latter part, that he promised to build a cathedral for God, and he did not do it, and that he's leaving that between him and his God. Look, the president's desire to build the cathedral, we know, was right. He did that from a good heart. It turned out that the people of Ghana were against it, and so eventually that desire had to be abandoned. You can look at it from very different angles. But when you talk like he did...
No, but if you say that desire, the people of Ghana were against it, and so that desire to be abandoned, that's quite simplistic. I mean, the people of Ghana were not happy with what appeared like, malfeasance or misappropriation and the opaque nature of some of the things. Indeed, not just the people of Ghana, high-class clergy men who were on the board resigned. Why did they resign? They resigned because they said that things were happening around them they did not know about. So not just that people are against, we are against it for a reason. And your comment appears to be skirting around the reason, really.
No, I mean, so I'm saying that whatever the reason may be, the president who has the desire to build this monument, had to abandon it. Now, how did the Honorable Emmanuel Boy put it? He put it in such a way that the man promised to build God a cathedral and abandoned it. And so he's leaving him between him and his God. And I'm saying that, look, the president did not just abandon it. It so happened that what he wanted to do, the people of Ghana were not in favor of it. I think right from the beginning, right from start, right from day one, it was obvious that people were not happy about building a cathedral, no matter the reasons that were given. The latter issues you're talking about, yes, you can deal with that later. But I'm saying that right from day one, the people of Ghana seem not to be impressed with the idea of building a cathedral, and so the president had to abandon it. And then you use that against him, say that you're leaving that to him and his God. And the whole thing, and let's not pretend as if we didn't hear. The reason why this has become an issue, that it sounded so disrespectful to the hesitant president. And we have all been trained to be at least respectful. I mean, in Parliament, there are some words you can't use because, look, we are in the house of the people, and so our words are always measured. That is what we're expecting from him. And that is why, in spite of everything, the apology, no matter how accepted it is, has been accepted, and he has had the unanimous approval.
Very well. Parliament has been very busy, really, one issue after the other and all of that, and the mighty minority. So you see, if you say you are mighty minority, if you are qualifying your minority and others say micro minority, then you should take that as well in your stride. So the minority appears to be, doing the job of the minority. So yesterday we saw the spectacle between the Honorable Anodompre and the acting CEO of the Petroleum Commission, MFA Hardcastle. Now that matter appears to be a very big one. The minority is now issued a statement making some demands. Can you summarize for us, if you may, the specific demands your side is making of leadership of the House?
Well, I think it's very simple, my brother. We all know, everybody in this country has seen and heard what the lady did. In fact, what we are demanding is very simple. We need the total retraction and apology. And look, what the lady did was not against Honorable Ahmad Dompre alone. It was against the whole institution of Parliament. And that is why yesterday we were unanimous in condemning what she said. And especially within the principles of Parliament. Look, the majority leader, the former majority leader, now Minister for Education, they were all clear in their statements that, look, this is not acceptable. We cannot accept this. And let me tell you what. There are three main branches of government in this country or in our democracy: the executive, judiciary and the legislature. The executive, represented by the president and his ministers and the ministries, they are given the utmost respect. The judiciary, made of the judges and the whole judiciary setup, people respect them. People do not insult them in public. The legislature seems to be the only arm of government which is suffering from constant insult and disrespect from a section of our people. And so I believe that if we really want to build a democracy that we all want, we should discourage the kind of disrespect that are meted out to the institution of parliament, not just the individual. The institution of parliament is very crucial. And look, yesterday, the speaker made mention of, even before this matter came up, and said that it is the parliament that makes the democracy work. Because look, when there is the coup d'etat, right, the executive is retained by the coup makers or the coupists. They also retain the judiciary because they need the judiciary to maybe jail people. So both the executive and the judiciary are retained when there's a coup. The first thing which is attacked is parliament. Parliament is dissolved, and then the coupists will take the lawmaking power, so that they'll be making laws for the people of Ghana. So if you're looking to understand our democracy, you should be looking at the parliament. That is the lawmaking body and has the ability to also check the activities of the executive, put the executive in check.
I see, but I get the point. But so I get the point. I mean, anything done to denigrate Parliament must be dealt with. But the others who also have the view that this was an altercation between two people. Others have even gone ahead to say that the lady was. I mean, it's not right, or it wasn't correct for the Honorable Anodompe to say that he was unprovoked. I mean, he didn't provoke anybody. He had actually been speaking to the lady, or was in some talk with the lady, and the things got heated and it happened that way. So putting everything on the lady because it was in Parliament and against a member of Parliament, when you're not looking at the thing the member of Parliament may have done to trigger the response, would that not be unfair to the lady on the receiving side?
I think that, my brother, the videos forcing. I think the good thing is that it was brought out by your own media. I don't know, because what I saw was from Channel 1 also.
Sure.
I haven't seen anywhere that Honorable Anodompe actually confronted the lady. From where the whole thing started, okay, you could see that the lady was being disrespectful, and he was trying to find out why she was being disrespectful. I mean, I think that the jury is out there. The people of Ghana have seen the video. You have seen the video. Do you think that Honorable Anodompe is the one who caused this whole thing? I think that you should call a spade a spade. I mean, we're working to this lady from the Francis. So a member of parliament, they call him silly boy. Really? Can he even call his younger brother that? Can she call her younger brother a silly boy? And that is what we're talking about. And this is within the principles of power. It's not as if you're in your private zone. You have come to vetting, and one of the members of the appointment committee, you had back and forth with the person. You don't insult the person like that. Is that the best way to express your view in this country? And like I said, it is because some people feel that it's okay to just insult a member of parliament. Because no person will insult a judge. Like that. No person. Nobody will have an altercation with the High Court judge in the same situation and call the High Court judge a silly. Can anybody go to court and call a judge names? We don't do that to our ministers. Why do we always want to disrespect Parliament by insulting members of Parliament? I think that is where the issue is. They should respect the institution of Parliament because it is what holds our democracy. This whole democracy is being held by our Parliament. And so we shouldn't, in this particular case, try to, as it were, stand neutral. So far, the Speaker has expressed his desire to step into this matter and has promised the House that he will invite the lady. And then, whatever happens, he will address the House on Friday. I think that it has reached that level for the Speaker Speaker to actually invite the lady. It tells you that Parliament is not taking this lightly at all. And look, from what happened yesterday, unanimously, both sides of the House believe that the lady was in the wrong. You can't come to Parliament and insult one of our members and attack on one, attack on all.
I see.
That is why we have unanimously asked her to retract and apologize.
And she did apologize, but your side is calling the apology lame. I mean, I don't know what you mean by lame. But so is it a case that anything the Speaker comes up with on Friday, you would accept?
Well, I mean, for me as a city, I'm sure it will be the decision of leadership or console leadership. But generally, we respect our Speaker. So generally, what he says, his ruling, will take. I'm sure that our leadership will also advise us on the way forward after the Speaker's intervention.
Very well. Thank you so much, John Darko, Honourable Member of Parliament for the Swami constituency. Eyewitness News on